Hello, my name is Aaron Patrick, and in today's video we're going to be talking about this very room. You see there's a couple of messages coming through wanting to know about this room itself. A little tour, little desk view, and just to see what I use when I use everything else. Now I've done one of these before, but we thought, well, why not do an updated video as well? Give you behind the scenes access as to how we produce content here on this channel. Let's roll that intro and get straight into it. Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Aaron Patrick. I'm a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer, fancy new logo, that QuickBooks Chap on the internet, head of accounts here at Boffix, and also your friendly podcaster who goes live each and every Monday morning, 8:30 AM with Ask the Accountant. Now, today's video is really straightforward. We're going to look at what's actually in this room, give you a behind the scenes tour so you know exactly how we create content here over on this channel. And to start it off has to be the center point of the video itself, this very thing in front of us. And to do that, I'm going to just grab a second camera, and on this camera we're going to go in and be able to see the video itself. Now we're going to talk about this camera in a moment, but first of all let's talk about the main center point, and that is the FX3 that you have in front of you. Now the FX3 itself is completely and utterly overkill, if I'm completely honest, for what we need it for. But the reason we like it so much is because at the top here you have a whole audio interface, and that interface gives us two channels that can be independent of one another. And at the top here we also have the boom arm, which basically means that it's going to give us really crisp audio no matter what's happening, and that's our backup audio for most of our videos. And then just above there is a little wireless transmitter. Now where does that wireless transmitter go? Well, you can see on every single video I pretty much do, I have this little gadget here, and that little gadget there is my wireless microphone, and the idea would be that it's always going to be able to grab my voice and be able to put it straight there, and that's how we get our best audio possible. What else do we like about the FX3? Well, the FX3 itself has two memory card slots, and the idea is you can run them so that you could have them simultaneously recording, and if one was to fail, for example, you've always got the one as backup. We love that idea. It means that we're never going to be able to just do content and lose that content. That content is always going to be available to us. It also has a fan on the system as well, which means that along with the fact that we've got plugged into there a USB-C charger, means that we can have continuous recording. And when we're doing long form content, especially podcasts and everything, this becomes an absolute beast. We know this is never going to fail on us. If any of these other cameras was to run out of battery or overheat or anything like that, we know this one will just keep on rolling. It's mounted on the desk at the moment on a Peak Design tripod, and to be honest, that's where it mostly sits. We do have an option to put a side panel on as well, so there is options for us to play around with how it's set up. Could put on a gimbal or anything like that. But most of the time, this particular camera is one of those that's just sat there, pointed there. We know it's going to go, it's just going to keep on rocking. We love this camera for the fact that it just is just so reliable. And that just means that any of the other cameras we have with us, well, we can put them in maybe a bit more unique areas or something a bit more lighter. And if they run out, they run out, and we don't need to worry too much. We know we can always rely on this being our main focus for our content. So this is the number one priority when it comes to making sure that we get the best content possible. Next to it though is our B cam. Now our B cam's a bit unique because it's actually on wheels, and there's Mulberry as well, meaning that I can move this around as much as I need to and put it in whatever position it needs to be. Now it's an A7C with quite a nice little wide angled lens that can also zoom in. On top of there is a Sony boom mic as well. The idea of having that boom mic there is just to get us some backup audio if we need to. It's absolutely brilliant, that boom mic. It can do pretty much whatever we need it to do, whatever we want to throw at it, but it does give us the opportunity to be a bit more flexible. As you can see with this one, I can zoom in and out as needed. And because it's on wheels, because it's on a gimbal, it doesn't matter where I put it, it's always going to be looking nice and sharp and good. So that is our A and B setup, and most of the time that's all we ever need. You'll notice I'm also carrying probably one of our newest additions. This is the Sony ZV-E10. Really, we just wanted a lightweight, throw in a bag kind of always have access to it sort of camera. It's got power zoom on in this particular lens, but we tend to have interchangeable lenses on all of ours that we've got on. But it's just quite a nice little handhold one that we've got. It fits perfectly on the gimbal that we have. It's just a really nice little lightweight point and shoot. And especially when we're doing podcasts and stuff, we can stick multiple of these yarns with us. He's got a very similar camera as well. We can sit them in multiple angles, just get some different areas to it. It just elevates the content. We find that the more little angles we get, the more options that producer Lizzie's going to have when she comes to do the final edit, and the more dynamic that she can make it. So it always works pretty well. Now that's not all for cameras. We have a couple more that we use. We do tend to bring this one out every now and again. Now, this was the first camera I ever bought for the channel. This is my Sony a6400, and the idea of this one, well, was originally to be my A cam. We've moved on from this particular one. Nice little versatile camera, this one. Still shoots in 4K. The lens on it works just as you can imagine, and we can never really change it. What we do like about this lens, though, it goes all the way down to 18, so nice wide, and you can zoom all the way into 135. So actually, it's one of my most versatile cameras. But then my eagle eye over you will notice that it's on a teleprompter, and we just really use it as a teleprompter going forward. I've got the dummy battery that can go in here, so it can have continuous power. We stick your iPad or your iPhone on there. So I'm going to put the words up on here. You look to camera, talk away, and it makes some really good opportunities there. So if we've got any kind of sponsor reads, or we want to start reading off a teleprompter, this is what we'll do. And it's just a nice option to have in your kit, ready and waiting for when needed. Just an iPhone is what we use for kind of vertical content if ever needed, if we're ever going to do this. We put this on one of the gimbals, we can walk around. The same mics that we use in here can be used on this as well. So that's where we get that really crisp audio from things like our grid walks and stuff, because we're able to then just kind of get the content directly on this one device. Beauty of having it on a phone, obviously, is then you can just pass it on to whoever needs to. So someone else wants to edit it for us, or they want to put it on their channel or whatever. Easy peasy way of getting the information over to us. And our final kind of little camera, kind of action camera that we're using lately is the Insta360 Go. We used it in a couple of videos before. What we like about this is just how small it is, and we're going to probably start playing around with this a little bit more, especially on conferences, because the idea is if I just press the record button now. So let's make sure we are recording. Yeah, we're recording. Hello, how's it going? So you got the little camera here, little action cam sort of idea, nice to put around everywhere. But a little secret on this one is that you can actually detach the camera itself. So if I just press this little button in, take the smaller camera out, and then I've got a little magnet on me at the same time, and I can magnetize myself like that, and keeps running. And what we really like about this is that you can continue seeing what's happening in viewfinder from here. So I can just make sure that I'm looking okay. Yep, looking good to me. But the idea is, though, that we then have this camera coming forward. This is going around. It's actually really good at kind of keeping things all nice and steady. And we're going to leave this on for the rest of the video. But then you've got an opportunity to see what it looks like from kind of first person view as well. So yeah, nice little bit of kit, this one. And then the idea is that you've kind of got all your action camera goodness, but with the option to take the camera out as well. So we love it. So let's move on to the desk itself. So at the desk sort of idea, we have a multi-monitor setup. I am one of those who likes a little vertical monitor. I was never very keen on vertical monitors myself, and then I started it for the first time and fell in love with the idea. I'm not going to set up now, but normally I have an email, Teams, and having basically it's my notification panel. If something goes wrong, something needs my attention, I have them all set up there. So most of my work gets done on the Apple display just here, and then to the left of it I have my MacBook Pro, and the MacBook Pro itself then will just have another screen for me to throw stuff onto if I need to. Always have my iPad Pro sat here as well. This device here, absolutely perfect for doing reviews and stuff like that. If one of my team members sent over accounts review or tax returns review or VAT return to review, that's what I'll pick up. There's something really satisfying of being able to get really close and get maybe the Apple Pencil out and put some adjustments on there, or ask questions or whatever it's going to be. It just works really well, so that's why it's always sat there. Next to it as well is my iPad mini. I tend to use iPad mini more than anything just for note taking. Throw it into every bag that I've got whenever I'm going anywhere, and it's just nice to have that available to be able to just write things on at any point. It is really, really useful just to have that ability to be able to write notes as you go along, refer back to notes, they're electronic, those notes can be everywhere you ever need them to. Works really, really well. Next to it is some of my Steam Deck, Elgato Steam Deck shortcuts and everything that we've got running. And I also have down there a loop deck as well. I'm not plugged it in at this point in time, but the loop deck and the Steam Deck and the Elgato are all about making shortcuts to make use more efficient. I use the Elgato Steam Decks for more efficiencies. I've been able to do live streaming and things like that. And when I'm doing my cuts and stuff, when I'm actually live streaming. And the loop deck down there, you can just see in the bottom there. Well, that's what I use to make sure that I can edit things nice and quickly. So kind of multi-purpose on that one. If I swing you over here though, you'll notice the rest and behind me, I have a PC for doing PC stuff. To be honest, it gets used less and less lately, but there is a PC there. If I need to install software or anything like that, then that's available if needed. The big monitor at the top there that changes at the moment, well, that's just what's called a Philips monitor. And what we like about this one is there's actually colors in the back of it, and they change throughout depending on what display, so it adds some really nice mood effects behind. Got my old trusty MacBook Air sat there. That's probably my favorite laptop or PC or computer of all time. Generally, the things that can do for the size and the portability is just out of this world. We absolutely love it. I do have a Windows laptop as well, mainly for streaming purposes and putting things like that on it. It's just sometimes there's certain piece of software, certain piece of hardware where you use when you're doing live streaming that you have to have a Windows PC out. So yeah, it's a Windows laptop at the end of the day. And the reason we went for this particular laptop is because you pair it with this little dock here. This is not only a dock to provide power, but this is actually an eGPU as well, with a 3080 inside, so really, really powerful. And it just means we have super powerful editing on and live stream on the go if we need it. I love my Mac and it's really, really powerful, but every now and again there's compatibility issues with some of the software. Hook that up, yeah, compatibility issues are no more, and it's an amazing device for that one. For audio purposes, with the Rodecaster sat just over there, we're able to plug it into, you just see behind there's a little microphone that comes out and swings around, or we've got multiple microphones here. I do have over on the core over there, I do have another Rodecaster as well, and a Rodecaster X, so if we ever need to have audio options, then we're kind of covered for that. And to be fair, when we're live streaming out and about, that's one of the benefits that we have, because we have dedicated now elements to it. I don't have to unplug it all or replug it back in again. Means that we can actually have an opportunity to go out there, know that we've got all the cables that we need, know that we've got everything from a compatibility point of view, and it just gives us that flexibility. So again, you know, having that option to have multiple PC and Mac options just gives us that opportunity to make sure that we're ready for any sort of occasion. Behind here as well, we've got the QuickBooks Chap sat there. And then behind me, we have our customary background. We've got the on-air illuminating up there. We've got our Certified Trainer 2023 looking wonderful there. We've got our Accountancy Manager mug. I'm not sure how long we're going to have that around for. Then we've got our VR platform just here. We've got the coveted QB trainers just there. And this little box here is full of all of the cash machines, card machines that we have, that we show to clients and on videos and everything else. And it works really well. What else have I got here? So when it comes to actually videoing and actually putting video up, most of the time, well, if possible, we will use this as our kind of main live streaming video if we're sat here. But for anything else, I highly recommend this there. Now, this is what's called the Insta360 webcam. And if I was just to activate it now, you'll notice that when I activate it, it's now an actual gimbal. So what happened here, if I just put it side by side to another, I actually have full control of it, and it actually can go in and have automatic following on me as well. So if I do this, it's now going to follow me. and it'll follow me around. So highly recommend this. This is a really nice webcam. It just means that, as you can see, for me, it's positioned just here. I mean, it's in eyesight of where I am. I'll put the person to the right or to the left of it, depending on what work I'm doing. And then that means that I can have much more engaging content. And you can see behind me, it's giving up quite a nice little background because of the QuickBooks Chap area and all that lot. Yeah, so I highly recommend looking into this little camera here. Absolutely love it. Mouse wise, old trusty MX3, I've had that for years now. And then just have the Apple keyboard and the Apple trackpad just there as well, just to keep things nice and simple. Now, if I just kind of look over from here, you can see that there is this area just like here, so that's what the back of it would look like. Quite messy if you look anywhere below the bottom. And then just behind here is just racking of equipment, basically. Ignore the mini egg, that's a long time ago, but it's quite a special mini egg because it's got little mulberry on it. But everything else there is just all of the gear that we have ready and waiting to go. And a lot of it is just ready to throw in a bag if needed. Here's the Rodecaster equipment ready to go. Next to it is all the microphones and everything that we may need, all the different wires that we might need from it. Above there is the second, or the monitor I use for kind of watching content or anything while I'm working. I've got a few bits here regarding more to do with point of sale stuff. And again, more camera equipment just along the bottom there. And there it is. Really, for me, it's a real quick whistle stop tour of what our stuff looks like. I mean, at the end of the day, we're doing quite a lot of content at the moment, and having good quality equipment like we've got here. None of this was bought all at once. It's all developed over time and been purchased over time. But I do think that it's really important to have that equipment there, have equipment that you can trust in and get the information over. And it just makes things so much easier. So yeah, that is a little description or a little tour of my particular desk. Important to note as well, all of these desks that I have, so I do have two desks with me, both of them can raise and drop as well. So when I do live stream content, I tend to have it up higher, especially if I'm doing webinars, like long form webinars and stuff. If I'm doing any kind of training content or something, being able to raise the desk up, really, really useful. Highly recommend looking into that. And yeah, that is pretty much a breakdown of what my desk looks like. So, lighting wise, just quickly, most of the time I'm illuminated by this absolute mammoth of a light just at the top here, but to the left and to the right, you'll notice there's other elements there that you can see and go through from there. And there we have it. Here's a breakdown of my desk. Hopefully you found this entertaining. If you have, please make sure that you do a like and subscribe for more content like this. Again, we did this, what, a year ago now? Maybe a year and a bit ago. I'm sure we're going to do it again. So keep your eyes peeled for us to come back and do this again sometime. And if you want to be the first to see it, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Speaking of ways, let me know in the comments below anything you want to do a bit more of a deep dive as to why has Aaron gone for that? Why has he got a PC and a Mac? What's the reason for that? If you need any information like that, please do let us know. Or why not join us on our podcast, Ask the Accountant, because they're the sort of conversation topics that me and you have all the time. So my name's been Aaron Patrick. This video has been an absolute pleasure to do for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.